Good evening and welcome to the Raise Your Banner podcast. Tonight we'll be talking to Josiah Renton, a local DJ, musician, and mental health advocate here in the DC area. Stick around and enjoy the episode.
3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, good evening, Josiah. Good to see you again, buddy. How are things going?
Oh, Josh, what's up?
Not much, man.
It's going pretty well. Just got back from where was I? Gainesville, and I was getting a wedding done. I'm mixing rubies from Alana's my future wife to be. Getting rubies from her grandma all the way from Chicago this past New Year's, and I'm taking the body of my mom's mom and combining it into one. So I had to go to a jeweler, and I just got back.
Oh, interesting.
And now I'm excited
all
for
went
this
well.
podcast.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. For those that don't know, Josiah here made the music, intro and outro music for us. DJ Slowbro, right?
I'm not worthy, but yes.
No, you're definitely worthy, man. The music is awesome. So, I don't know, just I forget. Did you grow up here in Virginia or DC area or no?
Yes, I grew up on a little street called Mayflower, in Woodbridge, Virginia. Yep, and then like 10 or 11, we moved to Manassas, and I've been there ever since. And went through high school, college, and college went actually Winchester for 4 years. Graduated, thank God. It was so hard. And then went to Richmond for a few years, which was cool. Very cool place, Richmond. Very hip. A lot of things to do. And then I moved up to my parents, lived with them, which is totally fine to move back with your parents, save some money. Bam. Found a place, bought a place, and I'm here residing now and resting for it's been about 4 marvelous, awesome years.
Oh, nice. So you probably just must have moved there right before we met originally, probably.
Yes, actually, yes, we did. Because I mean, I've known you from hockey for about maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been about maybe not 5 years, but it's definitely been a few for sure, 3 or 4.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Hockey, man.
Well, let's
So
talk
good.
about that a little bit. So for those out there, I was lucky enough to continue to play adult hockey. It's kind of an interesting sport from the adult side of things, and one of those sports that you can still play as an adult.
Yes.
It can be fun. It can have its challenges, but I was lucky enough to get on a team here in Fairfax, Virginia, that Josiah was on, and Josiah is now the captain of, and that's kind of how we met. What got you into hockey originally?
My future wife was on a team, and I stalked her to the ice rink that she was playing on, and then I joined an opposing team that was in the same league, and then eventually got onto her team, which she wasn't too happy about. But before that, I didn't really ice skate, so I went to public sessions at that ice rink to learn how to skate so that I could play on the team. So I did hockey through being a creep on a girl.
That's pretty impressive, though. I mean, coming off the street just kind of dry and not really playing before, and then just jumping right into it. That's a pretty impressive way to do it. I mean, you couldn't have fooled me. I played with you enough that I wouldn't have known that you started that late in your life.
Oh, I think my mom has a better memory than I do. She remembers things all the way back from forever. But she did put me in some like ice skating lessons when I was little. But I think everyone plays soccer or does the basic stuff when you're a kid. Your parents trying to expose you to new things you might get into, and I definitely did a little bit of ice skating, so I wasn't completely raw. And I definitely played some ball hockey in Rockville for like 5 years. I even got into reffing. I was really into ball hockey. So I wasn't completely like non-hockey before I played. Yeah. So,
Yeah, gotcha. That's kind of how I did it too. I started
but
younger.
ice hockey is the best. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, how did you start?
I started younger, but it was kind of a mix of ice hockey and roller hockey at the time. But it was probably about 9 or 10.
Roller hockey is so
So,
weird, so hard.
it was interesting though. As a goalie, I started playing net, and I mostly, I used to have friends shoot on me. I had no equipment besides a glove and a blocker, taking pucks to the face in the driveway at my mother's house. That's kind of how
like
I started
hitting
playing goalie. But
Yeah, you were a goalie.
it
That's
was
right.
good. So
Yeah, you
and
started out off as a goalie, and now I don't even think of you as a goalie. You're playing out now. You're awesome playing out, and now I don't think you want to go back to being goalie.
I don't
You
know.
love playing out.
I'm torn.
Yeah.
I'm torn between both. I like playing net. There's something, most anybody that knows hockey, there's something a little crazy about us goalies. But I'm
Yes.
just as happy in
Like
between
get
the
hit with
pipes.
a rocketed like how heavy is the puck? It's
I don't
almost
know,
5
but
pounds,
yeah,
like
nice frozen
three pounds
piece
maybe.
of rubber. Yep.
Yeah. Oh God.
But
Yeah. Cool.
so how many teams are you managing now? So like I said before, Josiah's
yeah.
a team captain and manager of the team. I'm on with him, but I know there's more than one team in there, right? How many teams are you managing?
Oh, okay. So luckily I have enrolled others to step up into leadership and take over a few of the teams. But at one point I was doing 3 teams at a time. And I was like, okay, need to take a step back. And then I'm also on like 5 other teams. So, it just gets overwhelming. It's amazing because all the group of people that, I've met has just been so nice because everyone's just the hockey community is so welcoming and just even if you're just looking to shoot around, doesn't matter what skill level you're at in adult hockey, everyone's just kind of looking out for each other. It's like a brotherhood or um you know and even though I'm doing all this work for them, I feel it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm supporting a family. So yeah, at 1.3 I got someone that I thought was a good leader to step up and take one of them. And then actually currently for D1 Dragons, I noticed one of our other guys was stepping up on the bench. So I asked him the other day to do it, and now he's gonna step up, and we went from having just one team, and now we're gonna have 3 Dragons teams. That's
That's
the name
awesome.
of our team, Dragons. Yeah. So it's amazing how it's grown. And I don't feel like a leader, but I get excited. I think I get very excited when people, and I just play as hard as I can when I get out there. So, and maybe that's what the previous captain saw in me because I didn't think he was going to ask me. I thought I was the last person he was going to ask. I don't know what I never feel like I have it together.
Well, I
So,
remember when that transition happened. That was like this probably 6 months after I joined the team originally, and
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
with Jeff.
I didn't know you much well. I didn't know you too well at the time, but I mean, you've always been a great positive presence, and I think that goes a long way. Like I can honestly say I've played on teams in the past that are just full of negativity. Everybody's yelling at each other, trying to relive their glory days. And I don't, I count us lucky. I think that all the teams you've managed and run, you're right. There isn't really a bad or negative person on the team. We win, we lose, we have fun. Everybody gets along. I actually think it's kind of rare. But I think that's a testament to your positivity. I don't know how you do it. I mean, it's like hurting, as people out there can imagine, try hurting a bunch of adults to show up at 10 p.m. at a freezing cold rink, in the middle of the night or whatever. It's just, it's not the easiest. And, but somehow you do it. Somehow you put that in positivity, throughout the team, and it's just a great thing, and everybody, I think, permeates to everybody, and I think that's why, like you said, everybody gets along. We have a great group of people. I mean, I would say the Dragons team is probably also the most diverse team we've been on. I mean, between male, female representation, LGBTQ folks, just about everybody from every walk, every walk of life.
There's no other girls on any other teams. It's all guys.
It's crazy. Like I said, we all get along. Everybody enjoys it. Everybody loves it. Again, I think it's just a testimony to your positivity. I don't know how you do it. I mean, how do you do it? Is it just your personality, or you're just a positive
that's a
person?
good question. I like I said, I mean, I don't really think about it. I think of everyone as like part of the group. I want everyone to get along. So, but I just, the main thing I see is the bonding after the games. You
Right.
just stay for one or two of those and boom, you're in. And just as soon as you get a group of people that are like getting excited about hanging out with each other, instead of just, going to a hockey game and, playing the hockey game and just leaving right afterward. It's just kind of like a robotic, you're not really getting to know, you're just going there to play. But once you start knowing who the people you are that you're playing with because you hung out with them for a little bit, even if it's like a beer after the game, or just hanging out for a few minutes to chat a little bit, that's what really actually makes a team get, grow and want to come back and, creates that positivity. Is just that little bit of openness to, open up yourself, which is hard to do these days because everyone wants to just, stay in their tight comfort zone.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like post-COVID days, everybody wants to you're right, stay in their comfort zone, stay in their house, maybe not venture out as much as we used to. But
Yeah, it's
you
getting
kind of
better.
made it is getting better. You kind of made me
Yeah.
think too back to my like Navy leadership days a little bit about what you were just talking about. I used to try to make it a very much a family atmosphere. Yeah, I might have been
Yes.
in charge of a team, but it wasn't really my team. It was our team, and I really tried to instill like a family positivity, positive atmosphere, things like that. And I feel like it was very successful. And I kind of think you're doing the same, which uh, just like I said, makes it all that much funner when we're out there on the ice.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's even like little things like the way you phrase something. Like instead of ordering someone to be like, "Hey, do this, play this position, do that," you can say, "Hey, I have a good idea, guys, that I would like you to hear me out on. Let's try to maybe do this game." And we don't even talk like that much when we're on the bench. Usually it's just, figuring out our lines because it's just adult league. We're figuring out stuff. But like come playoff time gets a little bit more heated. And you know, you might have someone that's like been the entire season, but then all of a sudden, so a little bit of competition gets pushed on them, and they become, maybe not a hothead, but someone that's like getting very into the game, and you just gotta say, hey man, we're still playing the game, we're taking our time, um, we're looking good. Let's try to do this. The refs are gonna call it how they are. Just yeah, it's all about like the way you phrase it. You're saying, "No, we got to win." It's like, "Oh no." Even the captain's losing it.
Yeah, it's
But
like trying to relive the glory days, right?
yeah, and I am not perfect. I've lost it sometimes, but that's when I see the other leaders in the group, in the hockey group, actually step up even when I'm kind of losing my composure. They step up and either fix the lines or say, "Hey, Josiah, let's actually do this." And I'll be like, "Oh, there's a future captain right there." And that's actually what happened with Roby.
Yeah.
Alana and I were seeing that. Alana's my wife. We were actually on the same hockey team now. She's the whole reason I joined hockey, just for the podcasters to know. She's awesome. She's
Ilana is great. Yes,
yep,
she's great.
yep,
I've met
yep,
her a
yep.
million times.
So she helps me out a lot, especially with Excel sheets and like when dues are happening for the teams. But um and she leads the cheer off. But we always talk to each other, like a lot, like after a game is done, lose or win, we're just kind of breaking it down and be like, hey, we noticed that this person does this, or we'll talk about each other's games first and then we'll talk about the team and be like, it's just really good to just talk things out, with someone. If you don't have anyone talk to yourself, that's, you're not crazy. People do it all the time. I still do it
Well,
when
I agree,
Alana's not around. Yeah.
and I think one thing you've done well is you got that like all team buy-in. I feel like the whole team buys into it. Like you said, even if somebody has a bad game or gets a little angry, there's a whole like the whole group of us is ready, ready to do what we need to do to make the team better.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I got a chance to play with Roby or Ray the other couple games ago, and me and him played really well together. I think we scored a couple of goals together, and it was interesting for the first time in a while. Me and him tried to talk things through on the bench and then translate that onto the ice, and it was kind of interesting. It was just a interesting dynamic between the two of us, and it was cool to see his leadership and just almost like a I don't want to say silent leadership, but just just the way he carried himself. So I think I agree. I think he'll make a good team captain on the new team.
Oh, you can his caring is like emanating from him. You could just feel it. Like when he talks and he's serious, like he's not serious as in like, oh no, he's serious. It's more like serious, like he cares like a lot for the team, and you can just see that in someone. And then when I mean, I can see it, everyone else can see it too, and you just feel it, and you're like, okay, let's listen to Ray. Yeah, it's nice. It's good to have a good team, good
Yeah,
people.
yeah, I agree, and that's
we,
important. I
yeah.
mean, you can tell. You can just having somebody like that yeah, just kind of drives success across the board for the whole team. So
Yep. And I mean, I've had the reverse. You probably don't know this, but I did have some people that were hotheads, but I asked them nicely to move on after a season or halfway through a season. But I don't really. I keep that on the DL, and no one needs to know about that stuff. So, but it's happened. I see them, and they're, I see the negative Nancy's, and you do have to kind of give them the tough love, or the tough love or here's the door kind of attitude. Because yeah, you don't need that on the bench. It really affects the team. At one point, Maddie, who you guys might meet in another podcast, it was affecting even her. It was affecting multiple people on the team. So I actually had to tell him to, move on to another team. So it's a lot of things, man. Leadership, management, all that is not easy.
yeah, I agree. And
I don't. Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I don't know how I handle it. No one
No,
does. No one's prepared.
Yeah, you're definitely
I'm just
never
gonna work
prepared,
with
right?
it. Yeah, you're never prepared for these things. Oh gosh. Yeah.
But I mean, that toxicity's out there and everything, right? In our jobs and our whatever part of our lives, and it just sucks that the last place you want it is when you're trying to be out there having fun. Yeah, you just don't need the toxicity there. So good on you.
No,
Sometimes
exactly. You're supposed to not. Yeah, to go to hockey and adult hockey is to get rid of that.
yeah,
Get away from the workplace. Kind of hang out with the guys. And have a talk. Talk it out. Vent a little bit. It's like
yeah,
therapeutic. It's therapeutic.
it is. I always found it ironic that here we are. It's not like hockey is a cheap sport, right? And we're all paying to play, and yet the super negative people show up. Yeah, I just paid $500 for a 20-game season, but I'm going to be miserable the whole time. I just never understood it. But just some people are going to be that way.
Yep. Yeah, that's all. I just want to say that it might look all good and gravy, but there's some stuff on the sidelines too that goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think the nice thing. I know sometimes Fairfax gets a bad rap. I like the rink. I like the people there. They got some nice lower level leagues for people that just want to start out. What kind of advice would you give to somebody, say, 40-year-old person that never played before? They want to get out there. What kind of advice would you maybe give them? Because it's not the easiest to do, especially as an older adult.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a novice division, and I would definitely do that because you get 20 minutes of practice each game before you even start playing your hockey game. So you have everyone will get together. The two teams, are going to play each other, but in the beginning, you'll get on the ice and you'll literally just practice your skating, practice your shots, your puck handling, and you'll have a coach. You'll have a personalized coach, for each team that's going to teach you some skills. And for the first 20 minutes, you're just practicing and you're getting a feel for what the game's about to be that you're about to play. So, oh my gosh, yeah. If you're trying to get your foothold or you haven't played in a while, start off at Fairfax Ice Rink. Just start with like a novice team, and everyone's so supportive. Like all of the teams, it doesn't matter what skill level you are. All the teams are so supportive, and if you want some extra practice time, because the other teams don't get that 20 minutes before novice, you get that 20 minutes of practice time each game. The other teams, above novice, you just go straight into playing, which you can learn on the whim there, but you only have, 3 periods, and you're switching out with guys. Everyone's on the ice for that 20 minutes practice in novice. So I almost want to I wish they did that for all the other teams
I know, right?
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It definitely makes it a lot harder if you just jump into something other than novice. I always tell people, probably the most important thing is to work on the skating as much as you can.
And go to public sessions as much as you can. Yeah,
Yep.
public sessions. Oh my gosh, go to the public sessions. They're like I think there's public sessions every day at different times. I know I always go to Friday and Saturday at 8:30 to 10:30. So they're long on Fridays and Saturdays. I think there's still 2 hours during the week too, but they're at, like during the day times. So a lot of people usually are working 9 to 5. But yeah, that's what I did. I just went to I learned how to hockey stop and just kept going to public sessions. It was great, and even like the guards there were like, "Hey, this is what you got to do," you know, because they all play hockey. You know, they
Right.
work there, they play hockey. You know, usually like kids in college or you know, they've been skating their whole life. So I'll just open up. See, I was nervous to ask them. You know, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna think I'm an idiot," but I was like, "Hey, can you teach me how to hockey stop or like the method? I'm trying to go play in one of the leagues." And he was like, "Yeah, man, that's what you got to do." And then he was watching me, and then I got him enrolled and me trying to hockey stop, and they got so excited for me when I finally like did one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I believe it's good. Everyone's is good-hearted out there. Yeah.
No, I agree too. And I think that's almost a bigger hurdle. Like people want to automatically put it on your people's physical ability. Well, I've never skated before. I've never played before. And yeah, that's obviously a hurdle to starting to play. But I mean, I think most people, the actually bigger hurdle in their mind is, you know, what are people going to think about me? I've never played before. How am I going to get on a team? What am I going to look like? I'm going to be the worst person out there. And that might be the truth when you start out. But I think the good thing is, for the most part, most of the adult teams we have or are involved in are extremely welcoming, and we can almost care less what your skill level is. If you're coming with a positive attitude and you're a good person, you know, more on you. We'd love to have you. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm as getting older, or I don't know if that didn't make sense. Well, I mean, getting older, I've realized that I'm caring less and less about what people think, and I'm just doing what I love, and that is just that's like the best. And it's so hard because you do care about looking good and like caring what people think, but as soon as you kind of let that go, even just a little bit, oh my god, you just feel so much better.
Yep.
Because you're living the life that other people want you to see you as, and it's just like, man, that's too much. I'm tired of it. You just get sick of it after a while, I think, right, Josh? And you're just like,
100%.
okay, it's whatever. I'm doing my own thing now. I don't have time for this. That's what it is. It's like, I don't have time for this when you get older. I don't know when that clicked, but it was like 30, maybe right at 30, 31. I was just like, I don't have time for this crap or these games.
It might hit me a little bit later, but
yeah.
But I agree. I mean, like I almost get more satisfaction out of, you know, yeah, it's great. You could score a goal, helping a goal, you know, or if I'm playing goalie, stop a bunch of shots. But I almost get more satisfaction of, like, you know, seeing somebody that just started playing come out and have a successful shift or score a goal. It's just, and I'm not even a team captain. It's just fun to watch and fun to see. And then you get to see the pride in their face. Sometimes their families are there. It's like this. I don't know if you could describe it. It's just this whole like thing that happens, and it's just the coolest thing.
A lot of freaking dances on the ice, and everyone cheers for her when she scores. We almost the other team is rooting for her to score because they all know her, and they're like, "Oh, she scored! We're so excited for her." That just made her, and you know, great.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
No, everyone gets very excited, and then they're screaming.
Yeah, it's great. It's just an interesting, you know, adult sport that's still out there. I mean, you know, there's other stuff like softball, baseball, things like that. Volleyball, I do feel like it's just one of those things that's still out there that adults can play, and you know, from a team aspect, and you really get the full team involvement. It's just an interesting thing. But
yep, it's our avenue. It's our secret way. It's our secret garden.
Well, look, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about something I know you really enjoy. So, as I said earlier, you know, Josiah, such a talent, made the great intro and outro music for me, or for the podcast. You know, I didn't give him a lot of input, I don't think, and probably harder input than maybe he wanted. And I said, you know, this is kind of the music I'm into, but this is what I'm trying to do. And he pretty much knocked it out of the park right away. It's awesome work. So what did you know? I don't know much else about your music life. Well, how did you get into it in the first place?
Oh man, that is a big question. Oh man. Okay, well this is good. This is a podcast meant for talking.
Yep.
Let's see. I don't know what it was. I mean, so like my dad played guitar to me when I was a
Okay.
kid. So I mean, maybe that sparked it, but I used to dance like to James Taylor. Mm,
Wow,
isn't that crazy?
that's
I mean, I have
crazy.
to go back and think of it now, but I would like Something on the Moon album. I used to dance to that in the living room. James Taylor, a mellow classic guitarist, classic rock
Yeah.
guy,
Yep.
still doing stuff. My dad loved his like finger plucking, and he actually taught himself like James Taylor to,
Oh
pluck
wow.
the strings. Yeah, it's so cool. He's amazing. So yeah, I mean maybe that sparked it, but I mean I don't remember um ever not being involved in either, like I always doodled on the piano, and then eventually I took some piano lessons um, with a guy that my dad is still in a band with today,
Oh
and they're
wow.
actually playing in Manassas uh, in March. So
What kind of
um,
music?
they play a lot of classic rock, all of it actually, and I try to throw some pop songs in there, for the you know the Gen Zs and all the other folks, to keep it popping, so they're not just playing a bunch of old, classic rock, even though classic
Yeah,
rock's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. It's like Steely Dan, Doobie Brothers,
Oh, the good
Wild
stuff.
Night by yeah, yeah, yeah. And I actually at one point, because I didn't see myself going all the way to, music school, but somehow I did. Like I never thought of myself going that far. Like I was in band in middle school. I wasn't good at trumpet, so the band lady switched me over to French horn. And so she was like, "Oh, you're like one of the okay trumpet people. So we need French horns, and you're gonna switch over." I was like, "Oh yeah." And she kind of like made it my idea, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, this could be good. This could be good." And so I've been playing French horn, and believe it or not, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Um, I um I got a scholarship all the way through college. So
Oh
it like
wow.
propelled me all the way through the end of my schooling. Um and I mean, I wasn't the best French hornist in high school, neither or in college. Holy crap. Um but I got through enough to get a scholarship, to, save some of that money, so I'm not completely poor out of college. Um, so and music, it just came. I mean, when you go to music school and you hang out with a lot of the band geeks, even in high school, you realize that there are people that are just musically inclined. Like they have perfect pitch. They have like they are in tuned. Like I never had perfect pitch. Like I never had those gifts, but like I liked music enough to where I was always listening to some sort of like all the genres, all the different types of musics um out, that were given. Um and I wanted to study it. So it was worth enough. And if I can get a scholarship through this horn that I didn't think I would still be playing, so why not? And music just kind of, to answer the question, what got me? I mean, music, I feel like can alter your mood, and I think that's really powerful. That's why I listen to music. And it's kind of like those foodies out there that are listening. Like you mix wine with certain meats or certain foods, like that. I feel like with music you can um, listen to something while you do a certain thing. So it's with doing things. With action, like whether sports, going to the gym, even just like playing an intense video game, all relaxing, just having a nice Sunday, lazy afternoon, playing some lo-fi, like just it can put you in certain moods and it can emphasize those moods. Um, and that's really cool. So
Yeah,
I think
it's it's
yeah.
it's funny that you say that because as you know, I'm a heavy metal guy, which doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily
I
people
love it.
probably wouldn't equate to relaxing, but for me, it actually is extremely relaxing. And For my fellow veterans that are listening, we probably, I would assume most of you have the similar experiences where, I can recall deployments in other spots and other bad times and good times where, maybe I vegged out on some of my, heavy metal music to get me in a better mood or distract me from what was going on or things like that. And I think we all kind of have those experiences, and it's just interesting, how you put it with how it helps your mood and changes your mood. And there's just a weird connection there. I've experienced it. Obviously you've experienced it. It's just kind of an interesting connection that music has to your mental health and other things. And I think it's definitely an important thing there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I've gotten so into it now. I mean, I went to Shenandoah University. I was there for 4 years, and I went to their music production and recording. So I got into like really nice sound and really nice, like using really nice headphones and really nice speakers to really get that like high quality sound and recording techniques to really get that like really, really, really good sound. So even emphasizing your mood even more, because it's just, oh, it's so good. And you can even today, you buy a song off iTunes or you listen to it on your vinyl record. Am I right? Those people that vinyl's coming back. You guys have to know, vinyl is so good. And you can hear it even if you're not even musically inclined. If you listen to like something you just bought digitally off iTunes on your speakers, or your, everyone has those Bluetooth, what are they called? Like Bluetooth headphones that are, there's little buds. They have a name, I can't remember. But and then you just, you have like a semi nice pair of speakers and you just listen to it on your vinyl. It's a huge difference. So
I agree. I feel like you can I agree. I think and I feel like as I've gotten older, I'll sit there and try to, obviously can't really slow the music down, but slow my thought process down when I'm listening to the music, so I can kind of listen to the other parts of it. You just sit there and focus on the words, but I kind of try to focus on some of the background stuff. It's like I'm not a music guy, so I don't know any of the terms, but it's it's kind of interesting. So,
well, life is rough, so we need therapy. And besides hockey, another therapy thing I do: have a drink, find a nice puzzle, put it on your big table. Have your best friend, significant other, wife, husband, whatever, with you. Listen to your vinyl. They're gonna play you take turns playing what vinyls you want, but like a lot of us would be, Taylor Swift, the 12 Midnights, and mine would be like Wolfpack or something, So play that, do your puzzle. It's the best. Like, it's just very calm, chill, happy place. Even if you don't even like doing that stuff, try it out. But yeah, something to do, game or puzzle's nice because you can just think about the puzzle and nothing else going, all the chaos going on in your life. And then just have a drink, and that whole mood, just that really calm mood of just focusing on something and relaxing. Another therapy avenue right there, or box, because guys like putting things in boxes.
Yeah, I agree. That's fine. No, I agree though. It's definitely good therapy. I kind of want to go in a little bit different direction, stay with the music a tad, because we kind of talked about this off air a little bit too. I was a band person too growing up. I kind of stopped it early in my high school years. I kind of had a bit. I didn't play the trumpet well, and I just decided to give it up at the time. But I think it's something. We kind of both hinted at that, something that we dealt with as in our probably middle school and high school years was bullying. And I'm sure, there's always that running joke that the band people get bullied too, or maybe get bullied more than others. Any thoughts there that you'd want to share, or for any young kids listening, hey, they're getting bullied or anything like that? Yeah, floor's yours.
I don't even like if I could go back now in high school and deal with the bullies, I don't know how. I mean, honestly, they want to see you react, so you just have to give them no emotion. That's the best advice I can give you. Once they see you react and they know that you're being affected, that's when they're going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and then just report it. There's no reason to hold that stuff in. They're going to get reported. They're going to stop bothering you. That's if I, as an adult, if I was experiencing bullying in high school, those are the two main things I would have done differently. Because when I was in high school, I just held it in and I tried to ignore it, and they could tell it was affecting me. Because I was like, why are you doing this? Leave me alone. Even that, you can't even do that. You just gotta like ignore them completely, and then just report them, which sucks because it sounds, oh, you reported me, you're a tattletale. Well, that bullies, they don't want you to do it. That's why they're telling you, trying to make fun of you not to do it.
No,
So
I would agree. It's like they're trying to get that reaction out of you. For me, it was a mix of kind of shutting things off, like you said, or on the other side, I did the occasional, you did get the occasional fight here and there. I would absolutely not recommend that as an option. And I think nowadays, that's definitely not something you should do. But definitely, reaching out to an adult or reaching out to somebody at school and, like you said, reporting it's pretty much the way to go.
It's not the fun answer. I'm sorry. It doesn't even.
No.
It's definitely not the fun answer. Fighting sounds much more fun and passionate. But
No.
if you're
agree,
actually, yeah.
In the end, people don't like different people, right? That's kind of what it comes down to too. We're all a little different. We all want to do our own things. We all have our passions. We all have the things we love. And I think sometimes the bullies, maybe they don't have that thing they love, or they don't have a passion, and they don't like the fact that you have that passion, or you're a music guy, you love music. Why can't I have a passion? And then they're gonna, they get into the bullying thing, and that's something that they think makes them feel good, even though it really doesn't. And yeah, I agree. I think you hear about it all the time. You still hear about it. Bullying is still a big thing, and like you said, I think it just if you're a young kid out there getting bullied, turn to an adult, turn to somebody you can trust, and go from there.
Yeah, you're right. To piggyback off you said, they're usually jealous of you. They're usually like, they want what you have and they don't have it, and they have a lot of crap going on at home. So I almost feel sorry for them, because like they're just trying to deal with crap, and they're pushing it onto others. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a fun time for everybody involved, right?
Nope. And they're dealing. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's not good. So. You mentioned the French horn. What other instrument? Any other instruments? You said piano too.
Oh yeah, I love jazz piano. So just like improvise like with a bunch of, I don't know, like a bunch of jazz chords. It's kind of nice. It almost sounds like a lo-fi music. And that's always chill. And if there's a piano in a room, I will literally go there, and I don't care who's there. I mean, I think the biggest. I mean, we have a huge family, so we have big family gatherings, but I'll always just like play some relaxing music, and everyone says thank you afterwards. So I don't know if it's thank you for stop playing, or thank you for, serenading us. But I
get off the stage. We've had enough. No.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, and it feels good. I after high school, after that bullying, episodes of every day in high school, my gateway was playing the piano for like an hour after school, and then I wouldn't really read the music. I would just kind of figure out what sounds nice. But I did that for an hour, so I was definitely like venting in my own way. And everyone has their own way, shape, and form of dealing with stress. I mean, eating too. I would stress eat. I still do that today.
I'm right there with you.
Who isn't? So good. There's so much good food out there. And yeah, so everyone has their own avenues. And yeah, so piano, French horn was the main one. Had no clue that was gonna go that far. And nowadays, I mean, I haven't picked up my horn in years. But it's something that you got to keep up with. So I know I don't play a lot of music anymore, Josh, but Alana has got me into like musical theater hardcore. We go to so many shows now. Yeah, and it's actually great. I know you're saying, "Oh, musical theater? What? What
is musical theater for the people out there that don't know?"
Well, musical theater is like a bunch of fun, exciting songs. Like stories, like written into songs, and it tells a story, and it's part of this epic story, but it's all sung and with excitingness or lament, and it's just there's so many out there, and you've probably heard of Sweeney Todd and
Right.
Annie and um even The King and I think is a musical. I'm saying all the obscure ones now. We just saw Waitress, which was actually in the movie theater, but it was a Broadway musical, and they turned it into a movie, and they're doing a lot more of that now, and that's really good. And we're not too far. You're even closer. We're not too far from the Kenny Center, so why not? God, there's so
I was
many
just about to
things.
ask you. It's probably something Ceci and I would be interested in getting involved in. So maybe, maybe we'll have
Well,
to tag
next time we
along.
go.
So,
Yeah, what
so
next place? So Kenny Center is obviously like the best, but there's a lot of
right.
other ones. And the next one, I'll invite you. We're going to Shirlington.
Okay.
Shirlington, or it's called Signature Theater, but it's in Shirlington, and it's not too far from DC.
So
Yeah.
this is a good question for you then, because I feel like this is kind of goes with the music a little bit too, and I'll tell you my opinion. But obviously, Kenny Center is awesome. But in your opinion, what is there a solid difference between like going someplace amazing with Kennedy Center, but also going to a small venue like a more mom and pop venue? Because I find, even though maybe the acoustics
Oh
and some of
yeah.
the other stuff is better at these big venues, something about seeing a metal band in a small venue, a
Oh yeah,
limited
you're
number
the
of people,
metalhead.
it's so much
Yeah.
better. It's just like it's that family atmosphere, right? Is it the same way for
It's intimate.
the stuff
Yes,
thing? Yeah.
100%. Yeah, we've been to a few mom and pop musical theater things in DC, and yeah, it's very intimate. It's really nice. Everyone's still very professional, very good singers. And it is nice. It's kind of, yeah, it gives you that more intimate feeling. And I've been to those, especially I lived in Richmond, like Strange Matters and stuff like that. Those small venues are a whole nother animal, just body to body.
Yep.
But yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you have the bigger venues, but it's honestly what you want to go see or what band you want to go see. I mean, we have so many live music venues, and since COVID, everything's back open. Thank God. It was awful. We always try to go see live music. It's like one of our things. And it's just a great time. I'm actually a stay at home. Like I want to stay home, but you invite me out to a live band or concert or something like that. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Well,
But
I'm not too different from you. I would argue that I'm more of an introvert, but here I am doing a podcast, so who knows what's going on. But
this is amazing. This
you know,
podcast
from
is awesome.
well, I appreciate that. From a therapeutical thing, I like to share the story of right when I retired from the Navy, it was an October timeframe. Um, I had scheduled to follow my favorite band. They're a European metal band.
Ooh.
Follow them. They were doing a tour through Europe, and I had tickets to like maybe 4 or 5 of their concerts. And originally I wasn't going to go. So, a month post retirement, I had a million things going on, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, things like that. I said, I'm not going to go. I'll just eat the money on the tickets I bought. I'm not going to get plane tickets, things like that. But I ended up deciding to do it. Went out there by myself for about 2 weeks, followed the band around, went to a bunch of went to each of their concerts, ended up doing a VIP session with the band, met the band for the first time. But it was extremely therapeutic. A, to go by myself. B, kind of get that, like, I just retired. I needed to step away from everything that just happened. I mean, the military for me was my life for 22 years. It's part of your identity, whether you want it to be or not. And I just kind of followed the band around, no care in the world. Went to see them play. The band, the concerts are practically identical in every city, but I mean, it was slightly different. Met an awesome amount of people. The band I follow, they're extremely diverse crowds. I mean, you get teenagers to 80-year-olds. It's kind of a crazy thing. You wouldn't think of it from the
That's
metal
how it
side of
is.
things. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes.
And it was just extremely therapeutic to do that.
I'm so
I
glad you
was,
went.
yeah, I'm so glad I went too.
It's that one choice. Those
Yep.
choices, man. It's where you're on the edge. And when
So
you actually go, it's always the best. I don't know what
I
it is about those choices, but
I agree. I would have regretted it to this day. I mean, I wouldn't have known what I missed out on, right?
you would have known what you missed. Yeah.
But
So sad.
the final part of that story is I got to go to the VIP. I met there was about 16 of us at the VIP session. Good group of people, from all over Europe, from America, South America. As you're going through the line, there's 5 people in the band. Probably getting that wrong, I should know. But you're going through, you can get things autographed. You're talking to them. It's funny. Of all the people, I don't know if I could be a celebrity or anything like that. You meet a million people. and you think people are just going to be robotic about it, right? And the band just wasn't. It seemed like a personal conversation each time with each band member. And I got to the lead singer at the end, and we were talking. She was curious about my what I did in life, and I told her. And she sat there and asked one simple question. She said, "How are you doing?" Is it like nobody's asked me that, right? I just retired from this whole life of different life, and she asked me such a simple question, and it caught me off guard, and I became a little emotional about it. Tried to catch myself, and it was like an interesting end to this whole, because that was at the last concert I had tickets for. It was an interesting end to the whole therapeutic 2 weeks of following the band around. Yeah, kind of like, the capstone event of the whole thing. It was just awesome. It was an interesting, such a simple question, but such a moving question at the same time, the way she asked it. And, I tell people when I talk about mental health and other things, sometimes it's the simple stuff that can go a long way. And for me, I did realize, well, nobody's really asked how I'm doing. Even though I just retired, it's been a whirlwind couple months. And there's this woman that I've never met before whose music has influenced most of my life, is asking me this simple question. It was just a crazy thing that happened, awesome thing that happened. And yeah, like, tying into all your music and kind of the therapeutic thing you were talking about. It was just an all encompassing, all great thing. And I hope a lot of people can experience something similar in whatever endeavor they enjoy,
Oh, it's really beautiful. That's amazing. That's like, how are you? And
Yeah.
it just all clicked. It
Yeah, it was
all
crazy.
clicked in one moment, and you're like, "Oh God,
Yeah,
what
what's
are all
going
these
on?
emotions coming?" Oh man, yeah, no. I feel like everyone in their life has had that one click. Whether you're watching a movie, and Olaf melts in Frozen, or like some thing clicked. All of a sudden, you're like, "Oh, I might be sad, but I'm okay now."
Right, exactly.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Hey, so the last thing I want to do with your music is, what are you
Okay.
doing these days? I know you're still DJing a little bit, right? I know
Oh,
you DJ at
right.
the rink, right? But where else
Totally
do you
forgot.
DJ?
Yep.
So,
Oh man. So a lot of the gigs I passed off to Tommy Jr. Go check out that.
speaking of Tommy Jr., I've been following. So he's another person that plays hockey with us. I feel like he went from 0 to 100, and all I do is
Yes.
following his social media stuff. He's got
Me
some
too.
amazing stuff out there, right?
Yeah. Like when you enroll someone and you're like, hey, I think you need to do this, and you're excited for them. That was Tommy Jr. That's Tommy, and he's our boy. And it
Yep.
all happened from just hanging out after a hockey game.
I know, it's crazy,
Oh my
right? So,
God. We just
connections,
hung out
making
and
those
talked about
connections.
EDM. We talked about EDM and like that big music video, that big music venue in DC, Echo Stage. We were talking about how we love going there and seeing like a bunch of EDM concerts. And we actually went not too long after we talked that night for his like wife's birthday. And we saw Chris Lake, and now we have matching sweaters. He's a great guy. And so yeah, no, I had a bunch of gigs. I think I only had one that I gave him. It was every Thursday at like this place in Old Town Herndon, right across from Jimmy's, which is like a big Buffalo bar,
Okay.
Buffalo Bills bar. And I would do like the beer pong night. Like I still have beer pong tables from doing those tournaments, and it'd be like, here's $100, whoever wins, ready, set, go. And I'll make a bracket on my one computer and then DJ on the other. And God, it was a great time. So I think they're still doing it to this day. So Thursday nights at Sully Poorhouse, go check it out. Oh, it's great. If you need to tap back into your college times.
No, I need to make it out to one of his shows for sure. It seems like
Oh yeah,
some
and
awesome stuff. So
he's not just doing that now. He's doing like Bar Louie now at One Loudon. He's doing Rise, like pizza shop, which is also I think Sterling area, but like, he's all over the place now. He's doing, it's so great to see. Like, and he would do, even with his own kids, he has like a whole DJ setup in his basement. So he does that on the side. Just didn't have any opening, or he didn't have his foot through the door with
Right.
someone to get started. And I was like, here you go, get started with this. And then that led to this. And now it's awesome. It's like
it's awesome to watch.
success story. And he's our buddy from hockey, just from talking after a hockey game. Like I just said,
Yeah,
it's all
those
connected.
connections. I mean, those connections you make are important, and it's just been crazy. I was gone for a year. I came back to DC, and as I'm slowly watching this thing take off on Instagram and his DJing stuff take off, I'm like, wow, this is just amazing.
Crazy.
But so
Yeah,
for you said you're kind of took a step back for now.
I mean, I'm just at the ice rink Fridays and Saturdays. I mean,
Yeah.
the public session I was talking about, 8:30 to 10:30. I do the music for that for Fairfax, where we
Oh,
play
right,
hockey,
gotcha.
and that's the only it's every Friday and Saturday. So I have no more Friday and Saturday nights. I mean, can always do something after, but yeah. So
I didn't realize
that's
it was
all I'm
both
doing.
days. That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because I'll still, I'm 33 right now, Josh, and like I have a lot of people getting married, so like I got another wedding gig in California. I've
Oh,
actually
awesome.
never carried my equipment that far. Usually it's just all in Virginia or DC or Maryland, but like I've never actually flown my equipment, maybe I can just like rent stuff. I don't know. I just got invited to that one. It's a good friend from college. But yeah, I'll
What
people
part of
getting
California?
married, having kids around this, this time in my life. So it's mostly just good friends. And a lot of them don't even want me to DJ. They just want me to be a guest so I can enjoy it,
But you
So-
want to do it anyways.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. No, it's great. I'm
That's
gonna
awesome.
be your friend too. Don't worry. I'm gonna give you a good time, but I'm also gonna be your friend. I'm gonna have a
Play
few
some
drinks while I
music.
DJ.
Have some
Yeah.
drinks, play some
Yeah.
music, enjoy it. Yeah, exactly.
And then even our hockey buddies are giving me gigs. This guy from Reston had me do like his holiday corporate one. So it's just nice because people, I don't even know how they find out. I don't know if Lana's talking about my back, but they're like, "You DJ, right?" I'm like, "I never told this guy that I DJ. How do you know?" And so I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll make it work." And that's how I jumped into music for the DJ side. I didn't have any equipment, but someone asked me do a DJ randomly, and I was like, I could make this work. Let me say yes to him, even though it's a complete lie. And I bought the equipment the next week, and I did the gig.
Well,
And
looks
that's
like you
how
made it work.
yeah, you just make sometimes like this podcast, you just gotta jump in
I
and
know
do
I've
it.
been ripping the Band-Aid off here finally, so it's been good. But you know what's cool? I just dawned on me too. I mean, I'm hoping to push some of our volunteer stuff with the podcast. Do some like coffee in the park type things. So maybe we'll have to have you out there with
I love
doing some
coffee.
music too. So
Yes, music talks, coffee talks in the park. I'll come back.
But look, man, I think what's that?
You're not too far either. You're close.
No, I'm not too far at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So come over to the offices here, or we'll do something in the city or wherever. Yeah, be good times. So.
Oh, thanks for having me. You're awesome, Josh.
But look, it's been a great episode here. I really appreciate you coming on, Josiah. It's DJ Slowbro, Josiah Renton, by the way. Seriously though, thanks for coming on. You're a good friend. I'm glad we could have some frank discussions and some of the tough discussions. I think that are important for people to hear. I really like the positivity. People need to hear that these days. And I hope I'll see you here again soon for one of our next games. And maybe we'll have you on again in the future to talk an update or something like that. And I know once we do start doing some in-person things, people will see you out there with the music, and maybe we'll drag Tommy Jr. out there too.
Yes, we have to get Tommy Jr. For one of these podcasts coming up. He has lots of stuff to talk about too. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. So
Woo.
cool, man.
Thank
Cool.
you again.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks again for coming on, and we'll talk to you again in the future.
Sounds good. We love you, Josh.
Thanks.
Your banner if you need help, and raise your banner to let others know you're a safe person to turn to. Until next time, stick around and keep on moving forward. Research conducted by Matrixa Research Group. Artwork created by Jenna Bordinger at jbordingerart.com or at jbordinger_art on Instagram. And music by Josiah Renton, DJ Slowbro.